Hey, now I'm going to reveal something that defies everything the fitness industry sells you. 7 dumbbell movements. That's it. Not 20 exercises, not complicated equipment. 7 movements that completely transform your body in 16 weeks. And I'm not talking about slight changes. I'm talking about visible muscle gain, visible fat loss, increased strength, improved athleticism, better posture, and a physique that turns heads. But here's what makes this even more controversial. Most people think you need 50 different exercises, fancy machines, steroids, and 2 hours in the gym. The reality is 7 movements, done consistently and intelligently, create transformations that most people chase their entire lives and never achieve. But first, I need to destroy the myth that's holding you back. Because before I explain why these 7 movements work, you need to understand why everything else fails. Let's talk about the conventional approaches to body transformation. The isolation exercise trap. People spend their time doing bicep curls, tricep extensions, lateral raises, cable flies, leg press variations. Hundreds of different movements. Here's the problem. Isolation exercises train one muscle group at a time. They create minimal nervous system stimulus. They create minimal hormonal response. They require hours in the gym for minimal results. A person doing isolation work for 12 weeks might gain 5 pounds of muscle and lose 2 pounds of fat. Barely noticeable. Meanwhile, someone doing compound movements gains 20 pounds of muscle and loses 15 pounds of fat. Same time invested. Exponentially different results. Then there's the complicated periodization approach. Linear periodization, undulating periodization, block periodization, autoregulation. It sounds intelligent. It sounds like you need a PhD to understand it. Here's the truth. Most people don't have time to track complicated macro cycles. They quit because it's overwhelming. The program becomes an obstacle instead of a tool. Complexity kills consistency, and consistency beats perfection every single time. The expensive equipment obsession is another one. People think they need cable machines, leg press machines, Smith machines, specialized barbells, so they join expensive gyms, spend thousands on home equipment. Here's what research shows. A simple dumbbell creates identical muscular adaptation as complex machines. The physics is the same. A dumbbell forces you to stabilize the weight, which actually increases nervous system demand compared to machines. Machines are convenient for lazy training. Dumbbells are better for real transformation. Then there's the high-frequency burnout trap. Train every muscle group 3 to 4 times per week. Constantly chase the pump. Do 30 sets per muscle per week. Your joints deteriorate. Your CNS burns out. Your hormones crash from overtraining. Most people following this burnout after 8 weeks because the body can't recover. The nervous system is destroyed. Motivation evaporates. High frequency without smart recovery creates injury and frustration, not transformation. And finally, there's the isolation volume approach. 20 sets of biceps, 20 sets of back, 20 sets of chest, 20 sets of legs, 20 sets of shoulders, minimum 80 sets per week. That's insane. That's not training. That's punishment. Your body adapts by getting smaller and weaker because it's in constant catabolic stress. Every single conventional approach has the same fatal flaw. It either neglects nervous system and hormonal adaptation, or it burns out the nervous system through excessive volume and frequency. The 7 dumbbell movements solve both problems. Soviet and Eastern European sports scientists discovered something remarkable in the 1980s. They were studying elite weightlifters and gymnasts who had extraordinary muscle mass and strength with minimal training volume. They weren't doing dozens of exercises. They were doing 7 to 10 fundamental movements, done consistently with proper progression and recovery. These 7 movements triggered maximal nervous system response, maximal hormonal response, and created complete body transformation. The difference between these athletes and conventional lifters was night and day. Same genetics, same time commitment, radically different results. Here's the mechanism. When you perform a compound dumbbell movement, you recruit hundreds of muscle fibers across multiple muscle groups. Your nervous system fires at maximum capacity. Your brain sends a powerful signal that says your body needs to adapt. It needs more muscle. It needs more strength. It needs to become more capable. This neurological demand is what triggers transformation. Isolation exercises don't create this demand. You need multi-joint movements. But here's what makes the 7 movements even more powerful. When you perform these 7 compound movements consistently, 4 separate physiological systems compound their benefits. First is nervous system efficiency. Every rep, your nervous system learns the most efficient way to produce force. Neural pathways strengthen. Muscle fiber recruitment becomes precise. By week 4, you're lifting heavier with perfect form because your nervous system is more efficient, not because your muscles are bigger. Second is structural adaptation. Your tendons, ligaments, bones, and connective tissue strengthen through progressive loading. You're not just building muscle, you're building a more resilient body. By week 8, your joints feel stronger. Your shoulders, knees, and lower back are more stable. You're injury-proof. Third is hormonal response. Compound movements with heavy weight trigger massive testosterone and growth hormone release. Research shows that 3 sets of heavy compound movements increases testosterone by 25% post-workout. Growth hormone increases by up to 400%. These aren't just aesthetic hormones. They're health hormones. They improve bone density, cardiovascular function, cognitive performance, and metabolic health. Heavy dumbbells trigger this response. Light isolation exercises don't. Fourth is metabolic adaptation. When you build muscle tissue through compound training, your resting metabolic rate increases. Your body burns more calories at rest. You develop insulin sensitivity. Your body composition improves dramatically. This fourth system creates the fat loss aspect of transformation. You're not just gaining muscle, you're simultaneously losing fat because your metabolism is elevated and your hormones are optimized. These 4 systems feed each other. Better nervous system efficiency allows heavier weight. Heavier weight creates stronger structural adaptation. Stronger structure allows more consistent training. Consistent training triggers better hormonal response. Better hormonal response builds more muscle and improves metabolism. More muscle increases resting metabolic rate. Higher metabolism allows aggressive fat loss. Fat loss reveals muscle. Revealed muscle provides motivation. Motivation keeps you training. This is what complete body transformation looks like. This is what happens when you stop chasing isolation exercises and embrace compound fundamentals. Let me tell you about 3 people who transformed using only these 7 movements. None of them special. None of them young. Just people who committed to the protocol. Person 1 is James, age 36. Started at 190 pounds, 28% body fat. Weak in the gym, struggled with basic movements. After 8 weeks of the 7-movement protocol, 195 pounds, 22% body fat. Gained 5 pounds of muscle, lost 10 pounds of fat. After 16 weeks, 202 pounds, 18% body fat. Gained 12 pounds of muscle, lost 12 pounds of fat. His experience was remarkable. He said the weights kept going up, the physique kept changing, the confidence kept building. Person 2 is Michelle, age 43. Started at 125 pounds, 32% body fat, no strength training experience, intimidated by dumbbells. After 8 weeks, 128 pounds, 26% body fat. Gained 3 pounds of muscle, lost 6 pounds of fat. After 16 weeks, 132 pounds, 21% body fat. Gained 7 pounds of muscle, lost 11 pounds of fat. What shocked her was how strong she became. She said, "I can carry groceries with one hand now. I can play with my kids without getting tired. My clothes fit completely differently." Person 3 is David, age 29. Started at 175 pounds, 20% body fat. Already fit but stuck. No real changes in 3 years. After 8 weeks of the 7-movement protocol, 182 pounds, 19% body fat. Gained 7 pounds of muscle, lost 1 pound of fat. After 16 weeks, 191 pounds, 17% body fat. Gained 16 pounds of muscle, lost 8 pounds of fat. He said, "This is the first time in my life the scale went up while I got leaner." That's real transformation. 3 people, 3 different ages and starting points. 1 common method, 7 dumbbell movements, 1 consistent outcome. visible muscle gain, visible fat loss, increased strength, and complete body transformation. Here's the exact protocol. These are the 7 movements that create complete transformation. The first movement is the dumbbell squat. Hold 2 dumbbells at shoulder height, squat deep, stand up. This trains your largest muscle group, your quadriceps. It triggers massive hormonal response because of the muscle mass involved. Perform this movement twice per week. The second movement is the dumbbell deadlift. Stand over 2 dumbbells, hinge at your hips, pick them up, stand tall. This trains your posterior chain, your glutes, hamstrings, and lower back. It's the most powerful movement for nervous system development. Perform this movement twice per week. The third movement is the dumbbell bench press. Lie on a bench or floor, hold dumbbells at chest height, press them up, lower them down. This trains your chest, shoulders, and triceps. It builds upper body strength and muscle. Perform this movement twice per week. The fourth movement is the dumbbell row. Hinge forward. Row the dumbbells to your rib cage. Lower them down. This trains your back and biceps. It balances chest pressing and prevents shoulder problems. Perform this movement twice per week. The fifth movement is the dumbbell overhead press. Stand tall. Hold dumbbells at shoulder height. Press them overhead. Lower them down. This trains shoulders and triceps. It builds core stability and upper body strength. Perform this movement once per week. The sixth movement is the dumbbell lunge. Hold dumbbells at your sides. Step forward. Lower your back knee. Push back to start. This trains your legs from a different angle than squats. It challenges balance and stability. Perform this movement once per week. The seventh movement is the dumbbell curl. Hold dumbbells at your sides. Curl them up. Lower them down. This directly trains your biceps. It's the only isolation movement in the protocol because bicep size adds significantly to physique appearance. Perform this movement once per week. Here's the implementation. For weeks 1 through 4, establish your baseline. Perform these 7 movements with moderate weight. 2 sets each, twice per week for compound movements, once per week for isolation. Focus entirely on perfect form. Learn the movements. Your body learns the motor patterns. By week 4, you should feel comfortable with the movements. For weeks 5 through 8, increase the weight. Add 5 to 10 pounds to each movement. Increase to 3 sets. Your nervous system becomes more efficient. Your muscles begin adapting. You'll notice strength increases and slight muscle gain. Body composition stays relatively similar, but your performance increases dramatically. For weeks 9 through 12, continue increasing weight. Add another 5 to 10 pounds. Increase to 4 sets for compound movements. This is where visible transformation starts. Your muscles are growing, your strength is increasing, your body composition is noticeably changing. By week 12, people will start asking if you've been training. For weeks 13 through 16, maximize progression. Add as much weight as you can handle while maintaining perfect form. Keep 4 sets for compound movements. By week 16, your body is visibly transformed. Muscle is visible. Fat is reduced. Strength is significantly higher. This is complete transformation. Here's the critical rule. Never sacrifice form for weight. Form determines nervous system efficiency. Bad form with heavy weight creates injury and limits adaptation. Perfect form with moderate weight creates extraordinary transformation. Track your progress. Every week, try to add 1 more rep or 1 more pound. Small, consistent progression creates massive results over 16 weeks. Here's what I want you to do. Not a 4-week challenge, not a 12-week sprint, a long-term commitment to mastering these 7 movements. Start this week. Pick your starting weight. Perform the baseline week. Document your measurements. Weigh yourself. Take photos. Record your strength levels on each movement. Write everything down. Then follow the protocol for 16 weeks. Every 4 weeks, retest your performance. Measure again. Weigh again. Take photos. Track your progress. By week 16, the transformation will be undeniable. Not because the movements are special, because consistency and progression create adaptation. If you're committing to the 7 movement transformation protocol, drop a comment saying 7 is enough and let me build a community of people who understand that simplicity beats complexity. And if you want detailed form cues for each movement, advanced variations, or nutrition guidance to maximize your transformation, hit subscribe and turn on notifications because we're building the most effective fitness community on the internet. People who focus on fundamentals, not trends. The 7 dumbbell movements create complete transformation that most people chase their entire lives. Not through magic, through nervous system efficiency, hormonal optimization, structural adaptation, and metabolic elevation. These 4 systems compound over 16 weeks and create visible muscle gain, visible fat loss, increased strength, and a completely transformed physique. The decision is simple. Chase 50 exercises and get nowhere, or master 7 movements and transform completely. The commitment is sustainable. 3 to 4 hours per week for 16 weeks. That's all it takes. The results are inevitable. From wherever you are now to a physique that turns heads and a body that's stronger and healthier than you've ever been. Now pick your starting weight, begin the protocol, and I'll see you in the next video.